Hmm? Oh, hey. Didn't see you there. Waiting for the boat too? Are you here for the party? Wow. You sure have the attire for it. Yeah, my friend Hayama just hit me and said if I was down for a good time. And I obviously could not turn that down. Oh, my bad. I forgot to introduce myself. What's up guys, Devin47 here, welcome to Watch for Plot. Subscribe for more content coming your way. For you new people out there, what I do is deep dive into the catacombs of the internet to find videos to review and tell people not to watch them. Yeah, that's me. So today we're reviewing an oddly uplifting NTR that has a wholesome ending. For those of you who don't know what NTR is, or nerotere, it is a term similar to cuckoldry in Japanese. It translates into cheating, and it's an entire subgenre within itself. And again, for those of you who've been watching these videos since 1933, you already knew this. Now, this is a short series produced by Milky called Insatiable. And the word insatiable means an appetite or desire impossible to satisfy. Honestly, I don't know why I'm able to predict these endings so easily, because I saw this intro and I was like, yeah, okay.
今の夫と結婚して3年、お見合いという出会いでしたが、何の不満もありませんでした。
Blackmail, boat parties, masked men. This is the best way to describe this series in as little words as I possibly can. So we have a couple here named Natsumi and Omoi. And from her own words, she was a bit of a nympho back in her heyday, arguably still, but denying it and embracing are two different things. Natsumi herself in the intros has this longing monologue while reminiscing on the fact that she married Omoi through service for 3 years. She goes on about how she always craves more. She finds it extremely difficult to fight off the urge. The moment Megumi came over, his friend, he instantly knew what was going on and gave this look. It feels like they're breaking the fourth wall over here. I've never seen anyone so on the nose with using the fact that the animation isn't perfect to display how evil this guy is. I want to say evil, but at the end, I don't even know if that's true. He just looks so, he looks so derpy. He looks like a 1993 cartoon villain. He also says, I don't think you can be satisfied with one man, because he remembers being a part of a train that she was a part of where she was juggling more balls than a 20-year pension having circus clown. So there's a lot of strings going around, a lot of crossing converging paths. He does say he didn't remember or didn't know that Omoi's wife was the chick he was banging in the train again 10 years ago, but hey, you know, what they say, it's a small world. And the moment Megumi initiates trying to fuck her, she immediately calls it off. Well, Megumi wanted to fuck her right in front of Omoi while he was sleeping. Again, her husband. So I can't tell if this is either homoerotic or just plain evil. So I'll just say both and go about my day. Omoi wakes up and has oddly long eye contact with Megumi, gasp, and then the scene fades to black. And now we're seeing both of them leave, Natsumi at the house to go to work. Now I know exactly what they were doing the moment they were leaving together after that, I would say, awkward encounter. But saying it now would spoil the whole entire show. While she was slightly inebriated, she didn't remember that our boy Megumi here took pics to blackmail her in the future, and he does that immediately. Yeah, I'd say that. After getting beer in her own house, he is blackmailed with the photos, goes to the hotel that Megumi requests, and this motherfucker got on bed slippers with a suit. I'm not gonna lie, he got that shit on though. So once she's convinced to partake in sexual ventures against her will again, this masked man looks like Bardock pulls up. And so can we just drop the bit and acknowledge that this is her husband, especially since Natsumi later on fantasizes about Bardock over here while fucking her husband back at home, which is oddly poetic because she loves him when he is acting outside of the role of being the vanilla husband. She says she's about to go to another orgy and wishes that her own husband would give her the goods a lot better, and if he did, she wouldn't have to do this, while unknowingly thinking about him the whole time, the masked man officer. It is interesting, there is an underlying narrative of how we perceive ourselves versus how others do. And if both perceptions don't match, the compatibility falls apart. Alright, I'll stop being philosophical for the show. It's almost over anyway. Well, Natsumi's having more flashbacks to her prime days, being a swing party queen, puts on a swimsuit that in her mind is too skimpy, and is going to head to the boat party. And obviously, the entire time she's trying to fight back from going back to her old ways. Can't blame her. She's been cooped up for 3 years, kinda. The beginning episode, the timeline is sort of converging. I think this part of her on the beach is while she's married and she came back and started having more of the fantasies after she came back. So technically, it has been 3 years consecutively, but it's been long enough for a gal like her to feel like 3 lifetimes. Once we're on the boat, we see 2 other dudes and the masked fellow along with Eriko, hosted by the main man himself, Megumi. So let's skip past the homoerotic lesbian scene and get straight to the part that kind of cracked me up and made me want to do this whole entire review. But the 2 men Megumi introed on the boat are Mikitani and Yoshida. And I have it in my notes that the description is just random boat niggas. Never say I don't take notes. I've always been studious. That's what you came here, folks. Elite note-taking. They start seeing Eriko getting frisky and asking to start the party. And once they start piping her down, they stare directly into Natsumi's soul. And at this moment, she's flustered and baffled that any of this has happened. And I would be too. Look at these stairs. It's stiff like an animatronic. I feel like the way they animated it, which I have no idea how animations work, they PNG the top half of their body and just let the bottom half just go to town. It immediately took me out of my analytical element and I just started howling. I'm not gonna lie, it broke me. They asked Natsumi, she denied again, so that's why they were looking at her while they were fucking her. So she leaves and is caught masturbating in the shower, and then the next orgy begins. Now, the masked fella that I've already told you is Omoe, her husband. It's just watching her just get another train right on her. Because he heard about the stories of her in the past from Megumi, himself telling him about it, and now he's seeing it live in action. He's like, damn, that shit kinda hard. Once everything's said and done, and oh, actually there was a funny bit here too, where Eriko asked Natsumi if she can go at it with the masked man, aka her husband, and Megumi hesitates for a second, and it's like, I don't know if you can do that, because you would be jealous of someone trying to fuck the person that you fucked because you got led to a hotel through blackmail after you got extorted because you were caught fucking your husband's best friend on the couch, and now this other masked man who you got caught fucking with in another hotel. It's so many layers deep. I feel like I was trying to connect conspiracy.board to explain how just confusing it is of her being slightly jealous. But she didn't really care at the end of the day, because the moment she got a train initiated, then she just stopped caring about the masked man. Until the mask reveal.
あなた、許して。
どうしたんだい？寂しそうな顔をして。
その声は。
夏美、今回のことは全て僕が葉山に頼んでやってもらったことなんだ。この間のホテルも今回のクルージングも。
On top of that, Omoe said he orchestrated all of this because he knew the fact that she could not handle one man alone. Honestly, kind of wholesome. And I would just wrap the bow up here and smile and be like, that's a great story, guys. Welcome to the sun. And congratulate everyone who made the series. But that's not exactly how it ends. So when we transition to his house, we see him discussing another friend who she will eventually copulate with, in 2 seconds after the conversation. And he stands up, he's waiting for his turn at the water cooler or something. It's kind of funny. This whole series is taking me out of the loop of what is usually to be expected for this type of entire. It's kind of interesting actually. And then after he's telling the guy to, no, do you mind wiping the sweat off my wife's forehead, please? I don't like the sweat when I'm taking the pictures. He looks at her and basically just says,
life like this sure is sweet, huh? It definitely is.
After, saying, hey, can't wait for this to happen tomorrow, he has this dark, ominous smile after saying he had such a great time, which to me is insinuating either he's going to pimp her out or there's going to be more episodes later on. However, my only source that I had this come from said there were 2 episodes, so I will never know. I can simply just Google this to see if there's more, but come on, you're already asking too much for me. Alright guys, I don't have an outro, but if I did, it wouldn't matter because no one makes fun of this video. Good night. Wow. I really sit up to 2 a.m. on the day before Valentine's Day to finish this script. And I must say that, man, it was pretty funny to watch. I'm not gonna lie. Haven't enjoyed something like this in a minute. That being said, objectively, there are a few moments that have a bit more dead air than I'm comfortable with. And on top of that, the plot itself was a bit too predictable until the end. So I'll give them credit for subverting my expectations. Also, hey, if you're watching this, I'm now starting up my membership and Patreon early content farm again. So join if you are into that. This video came out earlier and all the clips of it as well. So I'll do something different for each platform other than early access to content. You made it this far, so I bet you're slightly curious. For Patreon, I would do mini reviews once a month or Omega reviews, depending on the poll votes. And they'll be on any options of your choosing. This month's video or audio format is going to be either an old OVA or a newly hot off the press Sentai that just came out. And for the YouTube members, if that's how you roll, it's your cup of tea. You guys get more of a say on YouTube videos being uploaded to my channel and exclusive access to the content you voted on. Your vote for my next video could be about yaoi JoJo fanfic, and I'll show my reaction to that glorious news and then clips of that process and the pain you guys put me through. Again, I'll say this, if you can't or are unable to support me, I understand. And watching my channel and leaving a like is more than enough, so don't feel burdened. Anyway, see you champs later. It's 2 a.m. I gotta stop writing this video and recording it. And thinking about it. Peace!
I hop out looking like a check, you hop out looking like a rat. I pop out and I can respect, you pop out, you was just a spit. Gobble her like turkey neck, sipping